Well, hello and a very warm welcome. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for everybody. Thank you to everybody who is joining us for what is our inaugural live event for ProcurementSoftware.site. I can't actually see everybody who is online with the software that I'm using. So if you've got a question or if you've got a comment or anything, leave them in the comments. I can see the comments, but aren't seeing any individuals who are specifically online. So yeah, just post any Q&A, any questions in the comments, and I'll get to those as we go through. What a day. I need some sleep, I think, but it's been awesome. All of the feedback and all of the comments that I've got over the past few days from very respected people who I have a lot of time for in the industry, who have taken time to give their thoughts and feedback and seen a pre-launch demo of what I've been doing. So to anyone that took the time out to jump on a call with me and have a look through the website before we launched, thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to do that and for providing valuable feedback. But today is really to give you a quick tour of ProcurementSoftware.site to show you a little bit of what it can do in action, and really to explain some of the ethos behind what we're doing. So what really brought me to this point was when I started the podcast back 2020. I did series 1, and then I went on a little bit of a hiatus and picked it up again in September last year. And what really struck me during all of that time was that, a podcast is fantastic to be able to demonstrate with a guest, describing what a software can do and what the USP is and what the features are. But it doesn't really give you any overview of what else is out there in the marketplace. And it doesn't really give that sort of full, bigger picture of the different types of procurement software that are out there in that market. It doesn't tell you who their competitors are. It doesn't tell you what are the different features and aspects and points of view of different software that are playing in a similar space. So that's really what I set out to do. The second thing was, when I looked at what else was out there on the marketplace, everything was really driven towards enterprise level, Fortune 500, big corporate businesses. But there wasn't really anything out there that's targeting the mid-market. And I genuinely think that's where the growth is, especially going forward. Because if you look at most Fortune 500 companies or Global 1000 businesses, most of them have done digital procurement transformation to some extent. Now, a lot of them have done it badly. Let's not beat around the bush. A lot of them have implemented a big legacy brand suite and gone, okay, that's done, next. But at least they've done something. Whereas a lot of mid-market businesses haven't even started. And this is where the growth is going to be. If we look towards the next, maybe not 1 year, but if we look towards the next 2 to 5 years, and it's like anything, right? If you invest in the stock market, unless you're a day trader, you don't expect to make gains in the short term. You're in it for the long term. In the next 5 years, the biggest growth in procurement software is going to be solutions that serve the mid-market. And there was nobody out there. If you look at all the common names that slip off your tongue, if you're in the industry, nobody is catering to that market. Other thing is, most of these business models are based on corporate subscriptions right now. So if you're a buyer, if you're a procurement leader, if you're a finance leader, if you're a digital transformation expert in a company that doesn't have a corporate subscription to one of these solutions, then what do? You can't then, as an individual, go out and buy a subscription. So I think that model is fundamentally flawed. Not every business has got a 5-figure sum to throw around and pay for this type of subscription. And what do you even get from it, right? If you go out and pay $3,000 or $4,000 or euro for a white paper, what are you getting from it? Is a busy procurement leader really going to read it? cover to cover. Are they going to understand all of the technical jargon that's in there? Probably not. If you're a subject matter expert in a Fortune 500 company, then possibly. If you're a head of procurement in a mid-market business in a $250 million or euro company, managing a team that doesn't have many A players in it, if you've got a team of 10 crash managers, you've got 2 superstars, and you've probably got 8 pretty average performers that you're going to be micromanaging. So do you really have the time to read through all of that? Probably not. What you need is a solution that can quickly identify the potential software that matches your specialism that you're looking for, the market sector that you're in, the geography, and the level of maturity of that software company. So I'm going to share my screen now and just share a real-time example of what we can do with procurement software. So hopefully, yeah, there we go. So this is the homepage when you land on here, and it's pretty much typical website. Who's it for? Who do we serve? Why are we different? Although looking at a lot of procurement tech websites, a lot of them don't really give that message, incredibly. So yeah, that's something else to behold. A few people that were very kind to do a quick call with me before we went live to give their thoughts on the platform. So thank you to Stefan, Annie, Joelle, Rob, and John. Who else was it? I think that was, yeah. And yeah, who's behind it? Me, my little brother, who's been great in terms of putting a lot of the content together, and Mathilde, who is my marketing and social media assistant, who is also fantastic and has been great during launch. So this is where the crux is in Software Finder. So I say in my marketing material that you can find the right software solution for your business in less time than it takes to boil an egg. So it takes 3 minutes to boil an egg. So don't know if the camera can see that, but let's start, and you'll hear the alarm go off when I'm finished. So let's say that we want to look for, let's go for P2P systems. So we want P2P. Let's say we want to find a classic P2P solution. So not, things like e-procurement or accounts payable automation. Let's say we want classic P2P. And we want to focus on those solutions that target the mid-market. So that will no doubt get rid of the likes of SAP, Ariba, and Coupa, who are enterprise. And then let's say we want a solution in Europe because we want to be able to contact their customer success team during our office hours in Europe. So that gives me then here, for example, Procurement Express, IT Bid, and Complete Software. Don't have a preference for any one of those. This is just what the solution has given me. So if I go into Procurement Express, then here, for example, this gives us a few sort of key characteristics about this particular piece of software. They're an Irish company founded in 2014. Medium-sized software company, I would say. So probably startup becoming scale up. They've been around for a while, but they're still reasonably small. And then a couple of paragraphs about what they do. And then if you want to find out more about this software, maybe book a demo, you can fill out your contact details here. Jose is watching this, so I'm just doing this to provoke him because he's from Argentina. So you fill that out, and then it will send me a message. And then if you are working for Procurement Express in this particular case, then if that lead comes through to me, then as a solutions provider, then if I don't already have a referral partnership agreement with you, then I would contact you. I would reach out and say, hey, I have a potential lead for your software that wants to get in touch with you. Would you like to connect with them? And then we would have a conversation around how we can make that commercially viable, because obviously if it's free to use on the buy side, I have to pay my bills and keep the lights on somehow. So that in a nutshell, and that's my alarm that's just gone off. Perfect timing. That in a nutshell is how it works. It really is that simple. You don't need a corporate subscription. You don't need to pay to access the content. And you definitely don't have to drive through a really confusing solution map or white paper to get to that point. So, I mean, of course, it doesn't have the same level of detail as some of the big research houses, but my argument there would be, does a busy procurement leader really need that level of detail? Or can they get the short list of software solutions through the website that then enables them to ask the right questions and do the RFI and do the due diligence with those 3 or 4 providers that come out at the other end? And if they don't have time to do that, then of course myself and my team can do that for them as a package service, of course, and it's going to be a lot more affordable than downloading a white paper from some of these legacy brand companies. But ultimately, if they do want to self-serve and do that due diligence themselves and go through the RFI process, then I genuinely believe that I've probably taken about a week of research out of that process for them. And likewise, if you're a solutions provider, perhaps watching this, then the benefit as a solutions provider is that anyone that comes on this website is going to be a warm lead. Yes, they may not have the budget signed off and they may not have a purchase order ready to wave at you, but the sheer fact that they're landing on this platform and looking for procurement software, it's going to be a lot more valuable to you than just direct messaging people cold on LinkedIn, or even worse, sending cold emails or doing cold calls. So, in terms of what we can offer you as a solutions provider, if you're looking at this and thinking, you may be interested in working some sort of sponsorship or media partnership in some way, what we can offer is anyone that lands on the website has potentially in your product. And while they may not be able to buy, they're very, very likely to be interested in seeing what your software can do and how it compares to other solutions that are out there on the market. One thing that I do think is a really valuable offering that we're going to be doing is live moderated demos on LinkedIn Live using this exact same platform. We did one with the guys from Deepstream back in January, just as a bit of a trial. What that does is it enables me to moderate the event as someone that's got experience and a bit of sort of media position to be able to do that. And then you can demo as a solutions provider your software to a group audience. So instead of having to demo it individually to each potential prospect, we can do a one-to-many sort of group demo and reach people. So even if we only get 10 people that join the webinar or that join the live demo, that's probably a week's worth of prospecting for one of your sales team to get that number of people onto an event. And the good thing is we can do then a moderated Q&A at the end. You can follow up with anyone that's expressed an interest in the product. And it just builds trust having a third party moderating that event for you. A group of people in that can see that in real time and sort of ask questions and interact within the event. We're going to be doing sponsored blog posts, sponsored podcasts, as well as some power-ups that you can have in your directory entry. So just to go back to anyone on the buy side, when I said at the start that it's a completely free for solutions providers as well. So any solutions provider will have a basic profile in the directory completely free. We don't operate a pay-to-play model. So any solutions provider that wants to be listed that isn't already, please reach out. If you have a relevant product that is beyond minimum viable products MVP stage, if you have customers and if you have a saleable product that is relevant to procurement professionals, then we will feature you. If you are a consultancy or if you're a directory or an agency, that's not relevant. But if you are a SaaS procurement tech solutions provider, we will feature you for free. The sponsored content is through power-ups to your profile and different media partnerships and media content that we can offer. But fundamentally, we don't offer a pay-to-play model. I am a very open book. I will answer any questions that anyone has, because I think there's a lot of bullshit out here in this industry. Quite frankly, there's a lot of pay-to-play. There's a lot of non-transparent practices that go on, and I am a completely open book, and I always will be. So I will always call out any sponsored content on the website and show you, in terms of what's in the directory, where the sponsored features are once we start building that out. And there are probably about 5 that I'm about to send an invoice to. So, I can do a quick follow-up session to show you the difference between a profile that has had the power up and one that hasn't, just to call out where that sponsored content is. Likewise with blog posts and with podcasts as well. We will call it out at the top of the blog post, and we will call it out during the intro to the podcast if any of the content is sponsored. That is something that is really, really important to me, because I think that is genuinely lacking a lot in this space. So yeah, that really is ProcurementSite. I know we're all busy with all of the different supply chain crises and a war going on tragically on our doorstep right now here in Europe. So I don't want to keep anyone for any longer than I need to. But yeah, I'm really proud to show it to you. And thank you for all of the awesome feedback and support that everyone has given along the journey. Special shout out to the guys from Proctopus and also to Adam Thomas, who's been really the guy that pushed me to do that. Adam is an advisor to Obaloo, who are a small early stage London startup that's offering simple source to contract procurement software to SMEs. And Adam was really the one that pushed me to do it and to go all in with it with a bit of advice and a bit of cajoling into doing it. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Hope to see you again soon. And if you have any questions that you've not popped in the comments, then just reach out to me. Always happy to jump on a call, show you what it can do. Or if you're completely confused around the marketplace and just want a little bit of hand-holding and guidance, then likewise, I offer that as a package service too. So have a wonderful evening or morning, rest of your day, wherever you are. And bye for now. Cheers.